I'm gonna do another makeup look using the Beauty Glazed Impressed You palette. And I'm super proud of this palette because it's actually one of my most requested videos is to do another makeup look using this palette. So for today, I'm going to do a classic smoky eye look but with a halo effect. So it means that it's dark on the outer corners, but it's like there's like a shimmer on the center. I already did a blue makeup look using this and like a sunset makeup. So I think it's gonna be like my first to do a smoky eye with this. So I'm gonna make this look really dark and smoky so that I can show you guys how versatile this palette is. We have almost all the colors you need to create like any makeup look actually, because look at that, there's so many colors. And as you guys know, this is a dupe for the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. Of course, it's not going to be the exact same thing, but I mean, you can create makeup looks inspired by those makeup looks that you can do with the Jaclyn Hill palette. If you guys want to see how I do smoky eye makeup look with halo effect using this palette, then just keep on watching. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna prime our lids. If you wanna make the shadows more vibrant, you definitely need an eyeshadow primer. I mean, it goes the same with expensive eyeshadow palettes. You still need to prime your lids. I've seen a lot of YouTubers reviewing high-end palettes, but they still prime their lids. So I'm just blending this with my Real Techniques pointed foundation brush. I really like this one because it's nice for precision when you're doing like small areas of your face. So first we're gonna use a dark color to create a cut crease. I'm gonna use this dark brown color here first. No, like it's actually not the darkest brown, but it's dark enough to create the cut crease. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and change my brush. I just changed my brush because as you can see, the brush is a little wide, so I'm just gonna use this like eyebrow brush to create a thin line. So actually, the first step was a mistake. You need a dense brush like this. This side, so you always need to make sure that the height of your shadow is the same. So I'm just gonna try to follow that other eye, and then like that. So now you're just gonna feel your actual eyeball and trace that so that you can create a nice shape for the cut crease. So the best makeup look for anybody is to follow the natural contours of your face so you can feel where the brush is hitting, and that's your eyeball. So just follow that line and you'll be able to create a more natural shape. I'm going to take the eyelid primer and just going to clean this mess that I made and try to erase some of that brown, and I just want to create more space for the rest of the colors. Okay, so now we look a little bit crazy, but of course we're gonna fix that in a bit. So we're gonna use the same color and we're just gonna line your lower lash line, and then you're going to connect that to the cut crease that you created right there. So this is going to be like the guide for the entire makeup look. So get this color in between your eyelashes as well, just to cover the skin there, because you want this to look really smoky. Alright, so next I'm going to apply this color here. It's slightly darker than the first color that I used, this one. Okay, so now it's time to start with the halo effect. So I'm going to apply this color on my outer corners, and you're just gonna blend this lightly like that. And you are supposed to leave the center of your lids blank, so you're not gonna put anything there. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna focus this color on the outer corners and feather it out like that, but you're supposed to leave the center empty because you're gonna apply a shimmery color there. Use like a napkin or a color switch like this, and so there's almost nothing left on your brush. Then you can blend it a lot easier here, not adding more color on this part, because like I said, you need to leave it empty. And yeah, so while you're blending, you can use only one brush and just make sure to always clean it from time to time, because blending is the key to any eye makeup look. I always say that in my videos. What I always do is I apply the color here downwards like that, and then blend it out like that. Because if you're gonna apply it messily, it's not going to create a nice shape. If you do it like this, it's going to just focus the color here by doing that, and then you'll be able to control the color a lot easier. Tell you guys, I'm gonna put this on your outer corner. Just make sure your brush is slanted like this, because you don't want like a super straight line here. You want this to fade that way, like slanted and not straight. Then you're gonna do the same on the outer corner. You're going to move your brush this way, and then you're going to apply your color so that you still create that slanted effect like I said, and then blend it in. Again, turn your brush like this, and then apply the color. Now for the center of my lids, I'm going to apply this champagne color here, and I decided to use this one because it needs to look really bright. The center of your lids need to really pop, so I'm going to apply a lot of this one. So I'm just going to pop that on the center of my lids. Not just applying this randomly on the center of my lids. I'm creating like a fan shape like this. It's not going to be straight or anything. Like I said, it's supposed to look like that. You guys know when it's sunset and the sun reflects on the ocean, it's going to create that similar effect. Just build up the color because this is the star of the look. If you want, you can also apply it like this, like I teach you guys how to move your brush. So now I'm just doing this, and then for the other side, do the same technique, and then here, and then move your brush. So I'm going to create a cleaner shape, and it looks really flattering. Then you're just gonna go back to the first brush that you used for the dark colors. I'm gonna slightly blend out the edges so that it looks more natural. Okay, on top here, and then now we're gonna use a smaller blending brush like this. We're gonna blend out the harsh edges that I made from the cut crease. It doesn't have a cool toned transition color, which is exactly what I need right now, but I think we're gonna use this one here. It's a little bit dark, but we're just gonna apply a teeny tiny bit of this one. Try to remove the excess at the back of your hand if you need to. So you're supposed to feather out those lines, but still maintaining the shape of the cut crease. So I'm just slightly blending that because I still want to maintain the shape of the cut crease, but I'm just removing the harsh edges, as well as I'm adding like a transition shade on top of the cut crease. So it's gonna look more polished. Just blend it until you're happy with the shape. You need to make sure to start here. You don't need to press your brush hard on your skin. Do feathery strokes, but start here at the end so that you don't have a dark shadow here. So sometimes if you start here, it's going to look messy. So this one, distribute the color more evenly. Created a really nice gradient effect, and as well as you were able to maintain the shape. And I blended out the edge here too much, so I'm just applying more of the first dark color here, and then trying to fix the shape here. Like I said, you still want to maintain the cut crease even though you're removing the harsh edges. So I applied more, and then I'm just gonna blend again. For the transition color, you don't want to blend too high because you still want to leave space for your brow bone color. Now I'm just trying to smoke out the color and making it more dark. So it really depends on you if you want to make it darker or lighter. But for me, I just want the look to be really smoky because that's the purpose of this tutorial, I guess. Then I'm applying the same color on my lower lash line. So I'm just going to smudge that here. And this time, I want this to go a little bit lower here, so This time, I'm just trying to smudge this color here. I'll blend out the first dark color as well. Like that. Okay, so for my inner corners, I'm going to apply the lightest champagne color here. It's very similar to the first color that I used for, but this one is a tad bit lighter. And I always apply an inner corner highlight because it just makes the look more brighter. Then I'm also going to apply the same color on my brow bone. Blending brush, and then blend the two together, your brow bone color and the transition shade. So now I'm just going to apply my liner and lashes, and then I'll be right back. All Weather No Smudge Mascara. Bronze up my face with the Human Nature mineral powder in Boracay Bronze, and I actually broke this one, so there's like broken powders. It's just a perfect color to create a nice and natural contour. Even if you apply a lot, it's going to just give you a natural contour. Blush, just apply any baby pink color like this. I forgot what brand this is, but just any baby pink blush will do. For my lips, I'm going to use the iMagic Professional Cosmetics 12 Flash Color Case. I'm going to use this color here. It's actually my favorite shade here. Mix a little bit of this brown and then white, because I feel like it's too orangey and too bright, so I'm just going to tone down the orange. It actually went too light, so I'm gonna go back to the first color, and I'm just gonna do like an ombre lip